All right. Oops. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Everything seems to be in order. There we go. Excellent connection. All right. We have a big old big old thing going on where we're just not quite sure what's going to happen, really. Or is this gaming? It's hard to tell what this is exactly. If this is gaming or people or blogs. You know, I don't actually know myself. I do not know myself. I don't even know really what it would be called. But yeah, here we go. All right. All right, here we are. Starting our little test stream to see what happens. And I have never streamed on YouTube before, so this is pretty new to me. But we're going to be going for about a half hour just to see what happens. And hopefully we will get some good results. But before that, we'll do a little bit. Scarlet Eve, hello. I do wish I could put the chat on the screen if I am able to get Streamlabs Pro someday. That's what I'll do. Put it on the screen. It's a bit expensive though, unfortunately. Oh, hey, Ella. I wasn't sure what who you were, but I'm glad to figure it out. Well, I wouldn't want to dox you or anything, so maybe it's good that you're not on screen chat, if that makes sense. But yeah, here we are, sort of figuring things out. So I don't know. You could probably change your YouTube name if that was something you cared about, but I don't want to make you worry about it or anything. But welcome. This is a little strange little thing, and we're seeing how it turns out. So I'm thinking that depending on the sources that I hear from and the general feel that I get from this particular stream, It may be that we do cast talks on this and good night as well, because I have. Yeah, I understand. It hasn't mattered to me until like literally this year, as far as that goes, because no one would have really cared before this. But the idea of someone caring about it and then having an actual interest in knowing more, it has made me want my privacy a bit more as well. But I understand that privacy is a difficult thing to keep on the internet. Oh, but yesterday, Ella, I received a lovely compliment from somebody who was saying that they thought that Twitch was not really a place that people go to look for relaxation, which I think is partially true, but I also think people relax with live streams as well. So I don't know what to think about that. Yeah, I figured. But also, my good friend Harmony was telling me that it might be easier to make the switch early instead of later on, which I agree with her when it comes to that. Really, it's a strange thing. I'm not certain about how to feel. Yeah, I don't know either. Honestly, I don't know the best place. I think there is a best place for it somewhere. Whether it's YouTube or Twitch, I can't say, but I would like to think that we're in a good place for it right now, though I can scarcely tell you which is which. I do hope that we'll be able to get it figured out soon, though. At least within the next couple of weeks would be my minimum interest for it, or tomorrow if it can. It has been the best place so far, but it may be that there's a more lucrative and more interested audience on YouTube. And I don't really have any particular loyalty to Twitch. I'm really only loyal to what gets the most people watching it, because that would sort of mean I would get the most, I guess you could say, ability to help people, and that's quite a bit more interesting to me than either picking sides or choosing something over the other. But I don't really know which is which as far as which is going to be better. I think my maximum on Twitch has been 10 viewers at once, maybe a little more than that. You might remember better than me, but it has been limited as far as the amount of people that had showed up, though I am grateful for every 10 of them, or every one of those 10. It might be a good idea to try things out over here a little bit and see what happens. Either way, though, I'm glad to be trying new things. It's true. And to be fair, I have more subscribers on YouTube than I do have followers on Twitch. But I don't know how the money thing works on YouTube. Do you know how that works? Because I know there's a join button, but I don't know what that means for a stream. And I don't know if I'm nearly big enough to have a join button of any sort of usefulness. So I'm a little suspect of the viability of this, but I am willing to learn, and my friend Harmony can probably teach me the ins and outs, which would be very helpful. I'm honestly okay with either one. Yeah, I'm not a YouTuber either, really. Like, even if I was doing more YouTube and there was more stuff going on with it, I don't consider myself to be a YouTuber, I guess you could say. Like, I'm not a Twitch streamer either. I'm just a voice actor who wants to spread good vibes and help people. I don't really care about really like the business part of it. I mean, I would like to make something off of it, but if I don't, I can accept that. I can go get a day job as a marijuana clipper or something, or something. I could figure something out. I would like that job though, honestly. Be a bud tender, or to be some sort of, or welding. Do welding again. I mean, there's plenty of career choices that would show up for me if, YouTube didn't really make me anything of significance. But there's the same with Twitch too. I think I feel closer to becoming an affiliate than I do closer to having a join button. I'm not sure what the name for that is on YouTube, what they call that. But it does seem to me that it's more likely for me to have a trend upwards on Twitch, but I don't know the answer, honestly. I do not know the answer. All I can really say is that I need to find something that works. And this is what was recommended to me. And there is a community for ASMR on Twitch, but it seems pretty limited. The highest view count I have seen on the ASMR community on Twitch was like over 200, which 200 people for, noises in your ear is pretty good. Like, it's not nothing. I for like how many people are subscribed to it though, or are following the channel, the group, the community, whatever you want to call it. It does seem like there's not a lot of activity on it, which I don't know if I understand that completely. Because you'd think with it was like 2 million or something people follow the ASMR channel or ASMR community, but you only see 200 of them active at once. I wonder why that is. I wonder what the prime time for ASMR is as well. These are things I wonder about. Because honestly, I'd like to know more about this community and how it functions, I guess you could say. Because, if you can figure out how something works, that's how you can take advantage of it and make something from it. But until then, I'm just a bit, not mystified, but curious. Very curious about what makes it work and what makes it exist and function, and what the ins and outs are, the inner workings. I think that something that has always been curious to me is, there are people who have had really incredible fortune, I suppose you could call it, when attempting to do internet stuff. And, cat and animal videos are very appealing to a lot of people. I mean, they're appealing to me, and the dodo and stuff like that. I have a real interest in the wholesome content that's on things like that. But as far as other forms of content, I think it has 2 points. It has to be very high craftsmanship, right? And it also has to be very specifically targeted by people who can improve it. Cat videos, yeah, I know cat videos. Cat videos are immense and powerful on the internet. You can say a lot with them too. And I love cats like anyone else loves cats, right? I love cats. The only pet I've ever had was a cat. So, that tells me a lot. I guess I have a fondness for them that stretches beyond my normal fondness for animals, though I do love animals in general as well. Ella, what is your favorite animal, if you had to pick one? I feel like certainly, if I had to choose an animal to spend the rest of my life with, I would either consider a cat or a dog. I don't know which I would prefer, to be honest with you. I love them all too. I love them all too. It's like trying to choose a favorite color. Like I like a lot of colors. Bears, cats, or dogs. Bears. Bears live a long time too. They'd be a bit more longevitous. And I really do feel like if I had to choose like an animal, I would want one that lives a long time. A long-lived animal that can be with me for a while and help me through times of hardship. That's sort of something I would look for. A bear, though, what would you name your bear? I think if I had a bear, I would name them something really simple. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, though. A name of a character from a D&D game I used to be a part of comes to mind, though. Yeah, I see what you mean. Understand nature and your nature and the nature of what's happening in their environment. That's something that I have a fascination with as well, is animal learning, because there is a strange sort of power to animal learning. And I think that there's a Bernard the bear. Wow. I can't think of another name, so I honestly can only say that's pretty good. Bernard. What about Simon the bear? That's pretty fair. I think if there had to be a name for a bear. Oh, Katie, hello. Welcome. Welcome to our lovely little YouTube stream. We're still figuring out what's going on, but we're glad to have you. Figuring it all out. Right now we're thinking of names for a pet bear. And honestly, I can't think of any. I'm not very good with naming things. I use a random name generator for most of that. And that works fine, It works just fine. And I'm pretty okay with randomization in a lot of different things. And in fact, I prefer a lot of things to be random because my improvisation when it comes to a lot of topics is based on randomness most of the time. And something that I really enjoy is answering questions. I really like answering questions about different subjects. And that's one of my favorite things. I think it'd be really nice to just have a boatload of questions being asked to me. I think that's something that would make me like a very good parent, is that I like questions. Let's say I had a daughter, she'd probably ask me a million questions, and I'd be happy to answer every one of them if I could. That's the kind of energy I have when it comes to that. Not only that, but I really do enjoy figuring out what people want to know. right? Figuring out if someone wants to know one thing or the other. That makes me happy to learn what people want. I guess Bill might be an okay name. It'd be William the Bear. I like Simon the best so far, though. Mm. I've never known anybody in the real world named Simon. Or really anyone in my life ever named Simon, to be honest with you. It's a bit strange when I think about it. I have seen plenty of Simons in media, though, so I've got that at least. I do think that I am I'm in a very good place, though. Simon and Garfunkel. Oh, I would never have thought of that. I was never an S&G fan, but my parents never really introduced me to a lot of childhood things besides like SpongeBob and Ed, Ed and Eddie, stuff like that. But my parents raised me on a lot of really adult content. I think I've mentioned this before, but I saw a lot of like rated R movies at a very young age, which I don't know if that is a responsible thing to do, but it certainly bothers me now that was what went on. It bothers me to think about that today. But what can you do, right? I don't think I'll do that if I have a kid. But yeah. Do you think that this should be under people and blogs, or do you think that this should be under gaming? Because I'm not certain, honestly, what this belongs under. What does ASMR belong under? There's not really a place for it on the YouTube description. That's something that I dislike compared to Twitch, is there's not a community sort of thing for it. Well, the place where this video is being tagged as right now is people and blogs. And I don't know if it belongs there or not. I'm not certain where it belongs. Because this is a Talk Me to Sleep podcast, basically. And it's sort of curious to me to understand what the best position for this would be. Because I don't think I know it completely. People and blogs. 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 I see what you're thinking, though. I could hear it, too. There is no ASMR tag on YouTube. There is on Twitch, though, which, makes me think that I'm not certain which place is more YouTube, or which is more ASMR relevant. Honestly, I don't know. It's hard to be sure. You'd think there would be by now, though, right? You think there would be. But I don't know the inner workings of that sort of stuff. Maybe it's not quite popular enough yet for that. Yeah, I certainly think that it would be helpful to me and beneficial to YouTube to have an ASMR tag. Though I don't know what that would do to their system of labeling and stuff like that. I assume it wouldn't be that tasking to put that into their categories. But I do not know, honestly. It's not something I'm very familiar with. You know, it's a bit strange, to be honest with you, but I don't really listen to my own videos. You know, I think about that sometimes, why I don't do that, but I think about what kind of things I want to go to sleep to, and I oftentimes don't think that I am the sort of thing I want to fall asleep with, if that makes sense. I don't have the most firm understanding of why my own videos don't seem like a good choice to me, but they do not. I guess I should try them a little bit once again, because they are good, right? They are really good, but you know, they just don't quite do it for me. Either way, though, I think that this is a pretty successful first stream, because we're up and running and we've got most of the content from Twitch available to us on YouTube already. The only real difference is that we can't really have the alerts up, which I'm not sure how alerts work on this anyway. And we also can't have the chat on the screen yet, though I think we'll be able to do that here in just a little while. I don't know when exactly that will be. But it'll happen. I was thinking earlier that there is a significant desire in people to do sort of relationships with people on YouTube, and I have thought about doing boyfriend ASMR stuff, but I have this real feeling that it's like scummy and inappropriate and hurtful to people who are interested in YouTube or in ASMR, excuse me, to do boyfriend girlfriend stuff. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about it. You know what I might do though at some point? I might do friends have you over for dinner. That might be nice. That's a good idea. I don't know why I've only just thought of that now, but I need to have a talk with another person about maybe doing something like that, because that's not a bad idea. We're gonna be streaming for just another 5 minutes, and we'll see what's going on, because I do feel pretty tired still from yesterday's stream, and I have been working pretty hard with the streaming and the yoga especially recently, so I don't know exactly what my thoughts are going to be on doing this for more than a half hour, but I am glad that you showed up, Ella, because you know, I certainly like having you around, and I am pretty interested in having you, you know, as around as an original sort of a returning guest sort of into the stream. I do wonder what is in the future for us, though. I think about that quite often. What is in the future for Cassius Mishima and the brand in general? Because it is a brand, you know. It is a thing that people will have some stake in and have interest in at some point, as far as making money. And I think that there is definitely room for expansion with this particular brand. Though, the best way to do it, as I've said before, is still not clear to me. I am really grateful to still be doing this, though. And I hope that we can do a lot more episodes of Cast Talks and we can see it grow and thrive together. That would be something I would really be happy to have in my life. And I'm even happier to have even just a few people along. But, I think there's room for a lot more improvement. Alright, folks, this is getting to the last bit of the stream. And this stream will be available on YouTube, though it is just a test stream. It's got a little stuff in it, so it'll be a little extra there on the side of the normal videos. But I hope that you guys are all having a nice night, and I hope that this helps someone feel a little more relaxed in the future, and I hope that this becomes a lovely little thing for us to do, the YouTube streaming. So, with that said, good night to all of you folks, and have a lovely evening, and stay safe, and take care. Oh, thank you, Ella. We're glad to have you. Glad you could make it.